All right, it is that time of the month. I am gonna go through my January reads and my TBRs. We're gonna try to do it quick. All right, so to start January off, January did not start off strong. Um, this is the first book I tried to read in January. It wasn't for me. It plays on a lot of tropes that are very common, and it was already in my donate pile, and I had to dig it out of the donation pile. Um, Not for me. It wasn't bad. It was just not for me. I DNF'd that one. And then I got an ARC copy of Savage Sanctuary, and I DNF'd that one as also. Um, that one was just also not for me. It's a really dark romance with very little romance. So read at your own risk. She has like a whole page of trigger warnings for anyone that needs them. All right, moving on to things I did actually enjoy. I read the first Dungeon Crawler Carl. My brother and I listened to it on audiobook. The audiobook narrator is phenomenal. Highly recommend the audiobooks. Um, it's a great book. My brother's already read the first 6 books. I am purposely slowing my pace on that because I know I'll just spend way too much money and consume them all if I read them all, like if I didn't read them just one book at a time. So. All right. The next book I read was The Hunting Wives. This has a show on Netflix. The book was fine. We read this for book club. It was fine. Most of us did not really enjoy it in our book club. Um, Content warning, pedophilia, murder, drugs, cheating. I don't know. It's kind of like a drama in a book form. And honestly, it would have been a better book to me if it was just like a soap opera and not a murder mystery, because you don't even get to the murder, the actual murder, until 2/3 of the way through the book. So, not my favorite. It was fine. It's a quick read, but other than that, I don't really have much to say about it. So the next book I read was The Witch King. I have this in my Libro.fm app, and it's pretty good. It's a little slow, but I think Martha Wells is doing a lot of world building. So I'm going to try the second book. It's a duology. I'm going to try the second book to see if it picks up a little bit. But the writing style is really interesting. I listened to the audiobook. I really liked the audiobook narrator. Um, so yeah, we're going to continue this series, but I plan to read the second book in February, and I'll let you know. All right, the fourth book I read in January was Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This was actually, I've been I joined a reading challenge, and this was one of the categories for the reading challenge. The challenge that I picked this book for was a book that contains a lot of overused tropes, or a book that uses an overdone trope or overused trope. This is a werewolf vampire romance that includes like fated mates and nodding and all that stuff. So I thought that was a good fit into that category. I actually really liked this book. Ali Hazelwood to me is a pretty solid, like mediocre, like very much in the middle romance novelist. Like she writes lighthearted, fun romances, and you kind of know what you're getting into when you read them. And this one for me was like a top tier book for her. So it was like a 3.5 stars read. I listened to the audiobook. I borrowed it from Libby. Yeah, Libby, and it's a good book. It's a fun read. It didn't take me long to read, and I do plan to read the second book, Mate, as part of this reading challenge again in February. Okay, Strange Beast by Susan J. Morris was actually like really disappointing for me. The premise is so interesting, and the book was just not for me. It was just not that good for me. Um, the premise is it's the daughter of Moriarty and the daughter of Van Helsing, and they get together and they're like a slow burn romance with like mystery and fantasy. Like it's Sherlock Holmes, right? Like they're solving all these like fantastical whatever. I don't know. I might try the second book, but I really just did not. It was like a 3 stars, 2.5 stars. It was just not that good, in my opinion. It could have been so much better, and I just was a little disappointed with this one. All right, so Love Bites. You're gonna notice a theme for January, and I'm sorry, but I read a lot of like weird, like werewolf, vampire, like fantastical romancy type stuff. So Love Bites is a werewolf romance. It reminds, I don't know if you guys have ever read Janet Ivanovich's like One for the Money series, but it reminds me a lot of that because there's like a love triangle. She works as a PA for an art gallery. And then suddenly all these like women start showing up dead, and they're all like associated with her boss. So she's trying to figure out like, is her boss the one doing it, or is like something else going on? And then there's like a love triangle with the cop that's investigating everything. It's really good, really funny. I was cracking up at parts of this book. The humor is on point. I think I rated this like 4.5 or 5 stars. Very good. I loved this book. I do plan to read the second one. I think there are 4 books total in the series, and she's still writing them. Um, but I really loved this book. I thought it was great. The humor is my type of humor. It was great. I loved this book. So my brother recommended Absolute Wonder Woman to me. He reads a lot of comic books, and we share a Kindle account. So I just read it from his Kindle. It's really, really good. I'm not a big comic book reader, and I rated this 5 stars. It's really good. It's the second book, like they come out like this is books 1 through 7. The next set of books is coming out like 8 through 16 or whatever. It's coming out in February, so my brother and I are going to read that in February when it comes out. But yeah, this is a really good series. It's insane. Um, it's not like, I don't know. I'm not a big like I said, I don't read a lot of comic books, but I really enjoyed Absolute Wonder Woman. Um, and I'm looking forward. I was like mad. I was like texting my brother like the second book's not out yet, and he's like, "Well, the books are out." I was like, "Yeah, I could wait, get all the individual books for like $4, or I can wait for this book to come out with like books 8 through 16 and spend $10 or whatever." Um, so yeah, we're gonna get the next series of books. We're both really excited to read this one. 5 stars, 5 star read. Okay, so the next book I read was Dragon Curse by Elise Kova. I pre-ordered this. I forgot I pre-ordered it, and it showed up at my apartment as like the special edition pre-order copy, and I was like, oh, cool, a book that I completely forgot about. So, to me, this book is like a YA Fourth Wing mixed with Hunger Games. It's a really fun read. It's a really good read. I rated this book 5 stars. Um, the premise is these 18-year-olds, when you turn 18, you go through this tribunal to make sure you're not dragon cursed, meaning you're going to turn into a dragon. And it's like Hunger Games, it's dystopian, it's wild, it's really, really good. Um, and they know that it's told in a first person narration, and the narrator believes that she is dragon cursed, and it's just like how she's trying to get through this tribunal without like dying, because they will, you know, if you're dragon cursed, you don't last very long. So 5 star read. I loved this book a lot. Okay, so I listened to Necromancing the Stone. I loved Hold Me Closer, Necromancer. That was a 5 star read for me. This one was probably like a 3 star. Um, I thought this was a completed duology, but it turns out that this one might be an incomplete trilogy. And since these books were published in like 2000 and 2010, I don't know if the third book is going to happen, but the author says that she is working on the third book, and you can like read it on her Patreon. So I don't know if this third book's ever going to get published. I hope it does. These are great books. They're fun reads. It's he's a necromancer. The second book is him like trying to deal with his necromancer powers. He's got his like werewolf girlfriend, and he's just trying to figure out how to do the whole necromancy thing. It's really good. I do hope she continues the series. I know she has like a spin-off series. It's set in the same universe. I think the first book is called like Firebug, but I haven't read it yet because I'm like I don't want to get attached to those characters and then not ever finish Necromancing the Stone in the Necromancer series. So I'm hoping the author continues the series. It's a great book. It's one of my favorites that I've read so far this year. So all right, the last book I read in January, I literally finished it last night, technically this morning, but we are ignoring that. This is called Traitor Son. It's a trilogy. It's a complete trilogy. I have all the books already. Um, and it's not what I was expecting. I was expecting it's kind of like a cozy, like post-war fantasy romance that gets really dark at the end of the first book. I was expecting more of it to be like dark throughout and then kind of turn into a cozy romance. But it's good. I rated it like a 3 stars. I'm probably gonna read the second one just to see if it like picks up at all. Um, but it's like this guy, he's sons of traitors of the emperor, and he is so well renowned and so good at being like a soldier that he gets like promoted to duke, and then he tells the emperor like I want one of your daughters as like my reward. And he gets this like land and he marries the emperor's daughter, and then like it's him trying to build a relationship with her while also trying to build and protect his kingdom. It's interesting. I just wish some of the action was more like in the book instead of like with the like outside characters or like outside of what we are seeing as the reader. So I'm hoping we'll get more of that in the second book. But it was pretty good. I rated this book about 3 stars, I think. And then just to finish everything off, this is my TBR for February. So we have The Scammer. That's our next book club book. So I'll probably read that next. I have Wish, which has been kind of like I kind of started it and then kind of fell off. Um, we have the second Dungeon Crawler Carl book. Um, the Queen Demon, which is the second book of the Witch King. Mate, the second book for the Ali Hazelwood series. Siren Says is an ARC book that I got. I have access to, and it comes out in August, so I will be reading that. Everyone in my family has killed someone. I've heard great things about this book. I know there's like 4 books in this series, so that would be a fun series to read. Void Scarred has been recommended to me by a friend, and again, we all kind of like share our audiobooks and stuff, so I have access to this book as well that I plan to read. I Medusa is going to be a buddy read with my friend Relly. And then My Sister, the Serial Killer, just looks really good and it's kind of short, so it might be a good like in between book to read. We Carry Their Bones was recommended to me by my friend Michaela. She reads a lot of nonfiction, and this one is about um, it's about kids in Florida who were like in this school, I think. I'll have to double check, but basically there was like a lot of deaths happening and like it got investigated and it was like a big deal. And then the second book of the Love Bite series is Love Sucks, so I'm going to try that one. Um, but yeah, I had a really good January, hoping to keep up the momentum in February. But yeah, read 9 books in January. My goal for the year is 52 books, like 1 book per week essentially. Um, but yeah, I'll let you know if I find anything good and what comes up next. Thanks, everyone.